Hello everybody, my name is David McTaggart and welcome to my video today that is outlining my open letter to Premier Jason Kenney, outlining my opposition to the changes in the cold land lease policy here in the province of Alberta. Across this video, I hope to provide you a little bit of background information on this issue while providing my four main reasons of why I oppose these changes for the well-being of Alberta and the natural landscapes that we are so proud of here in our province. And at the end of it, I hope to provide you with some links for information that you too can be able to learn more about this issue. So to start things off with, I'd just like to outline a little bit of the Alberta coal land policy. And when it was put into place in 1976, it created four primary regions where coal mining may occur and restricted access for open pit mining to occur in areas 1, 2, and 3. Recent changes in June of 2020 opened up the ability for mining to occur in areas 2 and 3, which primarily occur on the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains in addition to the foothills. And for the sake of my video, I'm going to be focusing on this area, category 3, down in the southwestern corner of the province, along the Livingston Mountain Range and the Porcupine Hills, where recent activity has occurred to advance mining projects without the consultation of the ranchers and people who live in this area. So moving on now to my four main sections of why I oppose these changes. So briefly stated, my first reason to oppose it is that it disrupts the economic activity of ranching, tourism, and the recreation industries that are already established in this area. Number two is that in the absence of proper regulation, coal mining along the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains has the potential to contaminate groundwater of the South Saskatchewan River Basin that provides the water for all of Alberta's irrigation districts and drinking water for 1.3 million Albertans. My third reason is that another effect of inadequate public policy is that Albertans will not receive adequate royalties for these coal mining activities, and these companies will not be held to account to restore these mining sites. This will create another crisis in the future that is similar to what we are facing right now with orphaned oil wells. And my fourth reason is that Alberta's remaining native grasslands that are found in that area in the southwestern part of the province are critical for the storage and sequestration of carbon to combat climate change. We must be advocating to support the efforts of these farmers and ranchers to be recognized with Made in Alberta climate solutions to help do our part to combat this issue while also supporting our economy. Now, just some quick facts to support some of my four reasons. First, for number one, the current changes right now are affecting ranchers' ability to lease crown lands for grazing. Under the past system, grazing leases were granted on a multi-year basis, and now they are being shortened to one-year basis. And that affects ranchers' abilities as small business owners to plan into the future for how they will expand their business and adjust to changing markets. Number two, talking about water quality. Open pit coal mining creates overburden, and that is when they scrape away that top layer of rock to get at the coal. And as that overburden is weathered, minerals like selenium are leached out and accumulate in water bodies, like the rivers that form the South Saskatchewan River Basin. And so over time, what we've found in other areas affected by coal mining, like southeastern British Columbia, is they have found that selenium accumulates in up to 4 times the safe limit for human consumption in the Kootenay River, even at great distances away from the mining site. And this has the ability to affect humans' gastrointestinal systems, cause nerve damage, and cirrhosis of the liver if concentrations are above what is safe. Thankfully, technology does exist to prevent this damage to our water bodies. And we must assure that if this coal mining is to proceed, that these companies are mandated to have these systems in place to protect Albertans and our ability to use our water. Now, my third reason, talking about the economics of royalties and restoration of these mines. So under the current rules for oil wells in Alberta, the Alberta Energy Regulator has collected about $227 million for the restoration of orphan oil wells. However, because the assessment is based on oil prices 10 years ago, companies are actually being allowed to develop oil wells when they don't have the financial stability to pay for the restoration. And like how I mentioned about that $227 million that's already been collected, it is estimated that it will cost upwards of $30 billion to restore the orphaned oil wells here in our province. And so it is important that we learn from our mistakes. That is done and in the past, and we learn from our mistakes to put into place good policy that helps to protect future generations of Alberta from having to pay for these restoration bills. And lastly, talking about the importance of native grasslands in acting as agents to fight climate change through carbon sequestration. Every hectare of grassland can store actually upwards of 180 metric tons of carbon. That's equivalent to 39 cars being on the road for 1 year. And just as a reference for land, 1 hectare is slightly smaller than a Canadian football field. So I hope you found this video helpful to understand how the changes to coal policy in Alberta might affect you or future Albertans. So I encourage you to please follow some of the links below this video to learn more information on this issue. Thanks very much for tuning in, and have a great day.